Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, this is Dan Brzezowski. Welcome back to another edition of the No Comfort Zone podcast, helping you get out of your comfort zone so that you can find your purpose or live on purpose. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Do you want to hear something amazing? I think it's amazing. I think it's actually quite amazing that you want a lesson in humility? Get into podcasting. Oh my gosh. I'm getting ready to send over some unpublished, unedited podcasts that I've had in the bank for a while. And I'm so afraid to put them out there in podcast land because I think they're terrible. But as my coach says, keep talking. Just keep talking. Your voice will come up. And hopefully by the time you hear this, I'm a little bit more comfortable. I'm a little bit more real, relevant, and raw. And what I'm going to talk about today is this. Where were you? Where were you 10 years ago? Are you where you want to be at today? But really, where were you? Because about 10 years ago, 13, 15 years ago, whatever it is, it's been a long time ago, I was in a coma, highly depressed, suicidal, drug addicted, alcoholic, jobless, familyless, no spirituality whatsoever, and just this void. And it's almost embarrassing to think how selfish I was back then and all the things that I put myself through and my family through. My mom and my stepdad and my brothers and sisters and also my friends, co-workers, all that stuff that I went through. But listen, the reason why I'm doing this podcast is simply this. 20 years ago, I think I was pretty successful. Then how is it that 5 years later, I wind up suicidal in a coma, can't walk, can't talk when I wake up out of it? How is that? I lost my way. I lost my purpose. I decided to take the easy route. I decided to get so comfortable, I fell asleep. And then when I finally woke up, I still medicated myself and didn't do what I was supposed to do. It might not have been drugs, alcohol, but I sure found relationships to get into. I sure found going after, doing things on social media. That was a nice escape pattern, binge watching certain programs. And I just look back now from where I was, let's say 20 years ago and then 15 years ago. Now fast forward to where I'm at today, and it's amazing what can happen. It's just amazing. I couldn't even begin to tell you 15 years ago how I had all day to sit and think. All day to sit and think. No money, nowhere to go, and all this time. And I would look forward to going to these men's groups where I could actually listen to other people and interact with other people because I was lonely, I was bored, I was broke, I was in recovery, so I literally had no other acquaintances, and it was just a really, really, let's just call it interesting time in my life. And now I fast forward to all the things that I've gone through and what I've done, and it really comes down to that 60-day period of intense, and I mean intense, energy spent in a 60-day time period about getting uncomfortable, finding my purpose. What do I really want? If I knew I couldn't fail, what would I do? If I felt like working out, I work out now, not even wait to change. Just stupid things like that. Don't have any weight, so what do I do? I need to get my heart rate up. I would run in place. I would do all these things, and then over a 60-day time period, and I would keep thinking over and over again my goals. What do I want? Where am I going? Yeah, I wanted to speak again in front of an audience, but I really wasn't relevant because I had nothing to speak about because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't living my life. For Christ, I'm trying to get speaking gigs, and I'm living in my mom's basement, going through recovery, and basically trying to get, telling people that I'm successful. Listen, right now, I don't know who's listening or what my audience really is, but if this podcast finds you and you're waiting for the Ferrari and to have all the money in the bank account and all the real estate before you start helping other people, I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to work. Be real, be relevant, be really raw. Tell it like it is. Because right now I'm going to tell you this. The road to my success, my experience was scary, was very boring, long, hard, but my God, is it fulfilling. You know, I'm going through a scenario with one of the managers that I work with. And I was going through an experience that I had before. And maybe this podcast will find you today in a similar situation. And I really hope it does. And I hope you hear the message here. I hope you hear the message because everyone is your boss. Everyone is your boss. Everyone's your boss because they can tell you what to do. They can tell you how to do it. They can give you a better way. They can be hypocritical. They can do as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. They can do all that. And what's only going to change that? There's got to be some meme out there. I got to find it. But the only thing that's going to change that from switching everybody to your boss to you becoming the boss and to you to conquer everybody around you, you're going to have to work your ass off more so than anyone else around you. You will have to set the bar for work ethic and what that means to the people around you. Because if you got put into a position, if you got put into a place and you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're not needed. So my experience was I go into this place, fall from grace, speaking to big dealer groups and doing my big speaking thing and sold a bunch of cars. And I'm this trainer guy and I managed some good teams. And here I am in front of people doing their sales rallies, huge dealer, mega dealers, Southern California and Vegas. So, and I'm doing this and I'm having the time of my life and I'm partying like a rock star and I'm being ignorant. I'm not fulfilling my responsibilities or obligations. I'm just being a complete tool. So I don't see any value in what I'm doing and I'm getting paid a stupid amount of money. And in the end, I just didn't feel any value and it didn't fill the hole that was in me. And I felt guilty about it. So it's not how I was raised, not the person I am. I had a fall from grace and now I find myself working on my way. And as I'm working my way back to you, babe, never sang on a podcast either, but just felt like doing that. As I'm working my way back to reality, it's long and it's hard and it sucks. And I have to take what I would call a menial position at a store. And as I took the menial position in the store, nobody liked me, didn't get along with anybody. And I was just trying to do my job, what I was good at, and that's help people buy cars, and that's what I did. Well, the truth be told is I had to roll up my sleeves and get to work, and I had to do everything. And what I mean by everything, I had to call everybody back, I had to meet everybody, had to prospect, had to solve problems for a lot of people. And what I did over 60 days was not noted. I get pulled into the office and my boss starts yelling at me. Basically, not doing the job I was hired to do. The needle's not moving. Maybe you've been there before. I don't know. And the moral of the story is, after doing it for 60 days, I was doing everything I was asked to do, and then some, with passion, with gusto, with enthusiasm, long and hard hours, getting there early, staying late, getting involved in every interaction that I could because I was trying to remake the name for myself. All the stuff I was teaching and training about, I'm now in a position where I have to actually live it. I just can't talk about it. I can't be a hypocrite. And it's truly one of the best experiences I have because it worked. And as I'm getting yelled at for lack of performance and why I say it worked, the needle didn't move yet. He's looking to see where my notes are. He's looking to see what I've done and calling in the CRM tool and all that. CRM tool, customer relations management and all that. All my work throughout the day. What am I doing? Because I'm not showing any deals because of it. But I'm sure getting involved. And what ended up happening was awesome. I was able to start telling him as he was challenging me on certain customers. I was able to tell him the backstory and what's going on with it. It was at that moment in time and he realized, man, you're working your ass off. And then I got support. I got a little bit of support because I was doing more than what anybody was doing. But when it came down to it, I was doing so much more that about 30 days later, the needle jumped and continued to jump during the recession. Where we grew roughly 2 to 3%, everyone else in the country was going backwards. We were crushing it from the processes that were in place. And the moral of this story isn't about how great I was. It's how I worked my ass off. So when the challenging times came, I didn't have a boss anymore. I was the boss. Even though I had somebody that I had to answer to, he was in a position where he was asking me questions and people were looking for direction. I had so much conviction in what I was talking about. It was about terminating an employee. He was half-assed. He wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He was argumentative. He was calling people that he wasn't calling people and he was putting it in there. And in the end, he was toxic on the sales floor. And I don't believe in part-time sales. He was a part-time sales guy, causing aggravation for everybody. And I basically told him, my managers and the other people in the room, in front of the guy that was there, guy needs to go. The guy needs to go because he's toxic. And had I not made those all that work and put all that effort in and had done all those things and got a little bit of progression in that needle moving, I would have been the person that was asking my boss to let this guy go based on performance. Instead, I didn't ask. I told him the guy needs to go for this reason. They all looked at the guy and you got to go, Dan said. And there's a reason I'm telling you that story right now. Because no matter what's happened before in the past, and if you've fallen from grace, if you were a big paid speaker and you were doing great and you were noteworthy in that aspect, and you have some people that you've helped along the way and you got paid well to do it, but then divorce, bankruptcy, IRS, medical issues hit, addiction hits, children issues hit. Life just happens, man. You got to go help somebody else out and take a break from your life to go help somebody else out. Now you're working your way back up. The past don't equal the future. And I am so here to tell you this, that there's nothing better than starting your day off knowing that, you know what, I know I have goals. I know I have a sense of accomplishment. I've did great things before in the past, and I'm here to tell you I can do it again. And you're a better version of yourself than you were 15 years ago. I know I am. I'm a better version of myself than I was 20 years ago. About the most perfect time in my life, I think, is when I was 10. 10, because I have all the hope, the aspirations, the dreams of stuff that I could do, have, all that stuff. And nobody was there to shut me down. But in my own head, my self-doubts, my limitations, other people's opinions of me, it kind of messed with me over the years. Biggest mistake I had is letting people into my head. I should have never done that. Because this way, I'm 5'9". I weigh 210 pounds. I'm still trying to get to 180. But I'll tell you what, in my mind, I'm 8 feet tall and bulletproof. And the fact that I sang on this podcast is ridiculous. But the fact is, I don't answer to anybody anymore. I really am the hero version of myself, and I'm still trying to get better. I'm still trying to attain the ideal me, and I'm still going after him. And who is that person? That's the person that has conviction in their values. And I believe in my values. I'm really strong. Family's important. Work ethic, super important. Working long and hard, I believe is really important. I believe in standing up for what you believe in. And there's a lot of stuff that I believe in that I never stood up for before. Now I do. And I'm telling you this right now. If you want to get rid of your boss, work harder. Work more than your boss would ever want to put on you and own it. There's a guy or two that I work with now that they outwork me. I know that. And I hate to say it, but I'm being very real. They challenge me to work harder. Certain capacity I do better at, certain capacity they do better at. We're a team. I want to help and support them along the way. And I hope you want to do that for your team. So get rid of the boss, get rid of the past. It really comes down to one thing, working your ass off until you think you're about where you want to be. And then set some new goals and go for it. My name's Dan. I'm the guy that created the No Comfort Zone. I have a blueprint. The blueprint is designed to help you deal or get through adversity. It's helped there to redefine of what you really want in your life, go towards your goals, and really start to live with some happiness. Because even though I work long and hard, I'm still really happy. I'm still passionate. The biggest thing I want more time. And my hope is I can help you get what you want. And you, my friends, can help me get what I want. And that's to be able to help more people on a different level and become financially free. That's what I'm hoping to do. And I know I can help you. Give me that chance. The NoComfortZone.com, the NoComfortZone.com. Download the blueprint. Let's see what happens next. Good luck. Work your ass off and take care. That is the end of this podcast.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.